Peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. Welcome to the AFM channel. Simply goodbye, Ibrahim. Today, God willing, we will explain all of Excel in one video only, all of it Sama. Yes. So, what are we going to explain in this video? Sama. We will explain the basics of Excel. What does it mean, Sama? So after we finish this video, God willing, we will be able to access Excel. Why? Are you listening? By the way, I know Excel. I want to go directly to Excel because if someone is following us and needs to know Excel, they can. I want them to know. Additionally, if someone has missed something or doesn't understand, they shouldn't proceed without understanding these things because they are very important basic. So, who is this video ultimately aimed at? It's aimed at anyone who wants to learn Excel, whether they wish to later take advanced Excel and develop themselves further in Excel, or just want to handle Excel correctly. So all this in just one video. Yes, God willing, in this video, we will be able to handle Excel in a very easy and simple way, and in a professional manner as well, God willing. Okay, great. Does that mean, Sama, since we're doing it all in one video, it will be too fast and we won't understand anything? No. As you're used to from me, we will explain everything in a simple and easy way. For you, God willing, I'm more than 90% confident that all of you have received the information in a simple way, and when we access Excel, we will all be at the same point without anyone being confused or lacking essential knowledge. All right, I won't take up more of your time. Let's invoke God and pray for the messenger of God. Peace be upon him, and let's get started. The first thing I want to know is, what is a workbook? What is this? What's the meaning of this workbook? Look, everyone, some people get confused with this workbook. For example, during an interview, someone might ask how many sheets are in the worksheet, and they actually don't know what a workbook means, so they get confused and anxious. Even though they might know how to use Excel well and have heard good things about it, but the word workbook itself, what does it actually mean? Workbook. And when you hear the term workbook, it's what you see in front of you here. This is called a workbook. So what exactly does a workbook mean? Simple, everyone, it's just like the sheet you see below. Yes, that's what we're seeing. It's a worksheet, or what we abbreviate as a sheet or more than one worksheet. Okay, great. So the first point is, what is a workbook? It's what's inside either one sheet or more, not necessarily thousands of sheets. Okay, very good, Sama. The second thing we want to know is, what is the Excel file extension? Of course, it's a simple question, but I like to confirm it as well. Our abbreviation is dot, of course, like any extension. Then forgive me for these locations. Then we have the L. XLS is the extension of my Excel file. Okay, great, Sama. What else do we want to know? We want to know what it means. All right, you've explained to us what the book, of course.
ما احنا قلنا إن الورد
About one sheet or more, so what else? The worksheet, as you can see, what does it consist of? Consists of rows and columns, right? Okay, great, Sama. This worksheet or this sheet, if I want to work on it, what can I say? We can say it is the page that appears in front of us, or what we sometimes call a tab. Okay, great. What's inside? Inside the main workbook I have. So, what can I do, Sama, from my worksheet? Or from my sheet? I can create times for it. Delete. So how, Sama? Look, the first thing we want to do is add. Do you see the plus? The icon that's there. There you go, Sama. If we click on it like this, we'll find that it adds a sheet. Okay, if I click on it again, it adds another sheet. If I click on it a third time, and so on, it keeps creating many sheets with me, and I can make each sheet specific to something. Like what? For example, if I want to rename this sheet, I just click on it like this, and I'll start writing, for example, this is the sheet specific to students, and we press enter, and I'll start placing all the specific data there. When I come to another sheet, I also want to work on it instead of pressing, let's do.
رايت كليك.
Then I'll come and choose here, rename. I'll start naming it like class. This will contain all the data specific to the class or session. Okay, if I want to come and delete a sheet because I made it by mistake, I press, and I'm able to come and do it from here. Okay, great, Sama. And I can also come here and press, and what can I do? Can I? Press on. All right, we can do it, we'll use it. But only in the upcoming parts, okay? And what else can we do? I can also come here and do something. Do you want to move it? And I can do something even more beautiful. Together, I also want to show you what happens when you right-click. Delete. Perfect, Sama. So now we've learned that in the worksheet, what do we have in it? What does it consist of? Rows and columns. Here we see we can rename, delete, move it. We can work with it, like putting inside it a drawing or a specific file. God willing, we will see it together and so on. Okay, what else, Sama? Do we want to know? Is this the toolbar up here? Okay, great. What, Sama? The toolbar above? The toolbar above, as we see, contains Home, Font, which includes all font-related items, alignment, and all things related to numbers, all things related to style, and so on. Okay, next to it, we have the Insert tab, which contains everything we'll do through insert, whether we want to add or can do.
التيبل insert
Into any shape, whether it's a short or a specific type of chips, can I make it?
insert line لكود
And so forth. Okay, the bakery or these things specific to the page like margin, like size, and things that we use together. The formula, of course, we will use it a lot, God willing. And this will be considered, we have it now, and we will get to know it in detail. Okay, and so on, equipment for anything. Based on the video, as we saw, we talk about it, so we have a challenge, and this is also something we use a lot. The transceiver we will use a lot as well, God willing, and so on, and so the same idea for the appearance of the page, and this is in regard to what? That's regarding toolbar, or it's very simple on the toolbar. Let's go down a bit and talk about the beautiful design from which the sheet is made. We will find that we have what? We will find that we have a group over rows, meaning a group of rows, and within each row number 1, 2, 34, and so on. Okay, Sama, when can we go down to the side? We are, of course, working on version Kim 2021, and in the last video, we learned how to download Office 2021 for free step by step, and I told you the most important tricks to make the download successful for you. God willing, from the first time, and now the link will appear on the screen so you can see it if you haven't seen it yet. Also, Sama, in 2021, there are more than 1 million rows, more than 1 million rows. Okay, what about the columns? The column, what does it mean for us? You see, which shape is it? The shape, the vertical one, the horizontal shape, this vertical shape, or what is considered in this shape? This, it's considered a column, and what is usually assigned to it, ABC and so on. Okay, how many columns, Sama? There are more than approximately 16,000. I remember correctly, 16,384 columns. Nice, Sama. Okay, Sama, the row and the column. What do we call the intersection between this row and this column? Do we call it a cell? So the intersection between the row and the column is called a cell. And if we come to see what the name of this cell is, or how to get the name of this cell, I start first with the column, what will I say? And then I go down to the row, so here what? 1. Okay, let's stop here. What will this be? The letter G, right? How many do we go down to reach 10? Okay, here? Here, this helps us know where we are positioned. Look, see here, we can know where we are standing. If you come here, what will you find? Look, if you come here, it can write it for us simply, okay, nice Sama. Let's stand here at this cell and write anything we want. For example, let me start writing something different. I start writing my name here, and as soon as I press enter, you will find it goes down to the next cell. But what if Sama, I don't want it to go down? I'm writing the data side by side, what should I do then? At that time, instead of pressing enter, we'll press tab, and what will you find? It moved to the side. Okay, Sama, excuse me, if I want to move right or left without using the arrow, look everyone. Enter takes us down. Okay, shift plus enter. Shift enter moves us up. Tab moves us to the right. Shift tab moves us to the left. Okay. Nice, Sama. So that's about how I enter my data or input my data. Okay, if I want to edit this data, Sama see, you can edit it in several ways, either by pressing here twice, and I will just add it so it becomes fish, or I stand here and edit it as well. Let's, for example, write something in it. Major. Like this, it's done. I edit it. Or I can stand on it. And after standing on it, I press F. Then at that time, I can also edit it. So there are 3 ways. Either we double click on it, or press F2 or change it from here. Okay, if we want to change it, let's see if we want to give it some style. What does a bit of style mean? So for example, what will we start with? Let's see here, for example, I want to come here and change the color easily. You'll just stand on the cell and change its color. The color we want, for example, suppose. But of course, don't forget that we should be specific. I'll come here and make it green. Okay, I want to make it another color. I'll come and make it any other color we want. Light blue, for example, or whatever we need. I want to make it bold from here, italic from here, underline from here. The same will do it if it's in the middle. We choose to be in the middle, it will be like this. And we press here, and it will be in the middle for us, either on the right or the left, depending on how we want it. Okay, that's regarding if we want to change it, and the same idea applies to the size if we want to enlarge it, if we want to shape it like this. What should be selected? Selected, so that when we enlarge it, it gets bigger, and when we shrink it, it gets smaller. Alright, great, Yasmin. Okay, Sama, suppose I want to change certain things in it, like what if I want to do something specific? Burger? I want to remove the burger from it, and so I come here and press this arrow and choose the border you want. Okay, listen. I advise we made the border Sama. I want to change, for example, its width, or change, for example, its type. Look, everyone, Excel sets the type according to what we've written, right? For example, I'll remove my name here and let's click here, 1. And I'll start by pressing enter, then pressing 2, enter, 3, enter, 4, enter, 5, enter. I want to tell it that these numbers are currency numbers, not just numbers. So then Look, this is really easy, but I want to show you a simpler way to change it from the toolbar so you can change it. So what is the trick? The easiest way. So what you do is you come here, just highlight them like this. How did you select them? For example, I stood on this cell and I click left and go down like this. I select them and then I press Control. And Control plus the letter and number 1 opens this for me. What is this, Sama? This is where you can find all the formatting options you might need for this cell. Here, for example, it asks you what type it is. I want to set its type to currency, so I'll choose currency here. For example, if you want to put a date here, you'll set it as a date. Do you want to make it that way? Okay, you tell it the type and you can choose it from here. The type of data you've entered. Okay, let's choose that it's currency. Great. I can change its alignment from here or where it's located. Do I want it at the bottom? Do I want it in the center? Do I want to do something for it? What does that mean? Depending on what exactly you want. Do you want to set its orientation? See what you want to define. You can change the text direction from here. You can tell it to change from here. Right, left, and so forth. Okay, regarding the font, you can choose the font type you want from here. Any type you like to use, for example, some people like Andalus. Okay, you want it from here, from the font style. What do you want it to be? Regular, italic, bold, and so on. You can also change the size from here. If we come here, you'll find the border style here. You can choose the style that suits you. You want inside the cell itself to create a background. You can choose the color you want. Like this one, it might not be clear. Okay, I'll take it later. This is the first part. Let's click OK, and it will change the background we chose. It became the currency, which is the dollar. So we managed to change this part together using Control 1, instead of you coming to search for this. For example, I want to change the room, right? Okay, I want to change the type, right? Okay, I want it that way. I mean, what if I want to change it again? Instead of it being a currency. So, for example, we'll go back here and change it to what? Let's make it a regular number. It changed to a number. Some people don't like to search here and look here. It strains their eyes. So, I've shown you the easiest and fastest way. It's very nice. What else? What do you want to know? We have something called autofill. What does autofill mean? Come on, everyone, I'll start writing here. Sunday, if you come and stand, see as soon as the plus arrow, which is the image, appears, you press left click and go down like this. What do you find? Did it fill in automatically? Alright, Sama. By the way, if we did this and it didn't work, what do we do then? The problem. We'll start by clicking on File, and you'll find more below. I'll start by choosing, and then I'll choose Options. After that, this part will open. We choose from here, and then we start searching for the first thing you need to make sure it's enabled. Right-click, as you can see, it's this one.
handle and cell.
This must be optional. You can enable it, you removed it. No problem. It's usually an option, and most of the time, it's already enabled by default. Okay, another question, Sama. Suppose, Sama, if I want to make a custom autofill for myself, I mean, for example, I always use in work, like what? Names of people with me in the same department or same. Okay, how will I do this? Sama, we can do this through the method here. I'll show you. Plus, if you want to know how, like what we use, you mentioned Sunday. What else? What else, other than the days of the week? Let's see together. I'll start going down. I find something called General. Inside General, I'll find something called what? Edit Custom List. We'll click on it. This is the list I have ready. From here, in New List, you can write the list you want, like, for example, what? Mona. Right? Nor. Allah. Okay, so this is a list I made myself. I'll start telling it to add. Now it's added a list here for me. And what's the list here? The one I have here is Sunday. Monday is available in an abbreviated form, just the first 3 letters, or the full name. Same idea with the months of the year like January, February, March, and so on. Okay, I'll start by clicking OK. I'll tell it OK here. Okay, let's try here and write Mona and then go down like this. It's suitable for Noor Allah and Mona is repeated again. And so it will continue. So now we know how to use autofill and how we can create a list to use later in our work. Okay, let's see if I want to start, for example, if I have the number 20 here and 45 here. I want to come here to add them. How do we do it? I start by clicking here on the icon and then it shows me what is K1. So I start writing the letter K here and then change it to 1. K1, look, it selected it for you and tells you that it means this. Then I start to tell it plus, and I get the rest of my formula. Instead of writing it again, I can stand on it like this, and it writes it for me automatically. I start pressing enter, and I'll find it gives me 45, which is the total of 20. S45. Okay, now there is something very important we want to talk about, which is the difference between the column reference and the absolute. And what are these things, Samama? We talked about the formula and learned how we make it. Let's talk about it. Look, if I come here, let's say any numbers like 22, for example, 44, anything. Okay, and I'll also come here and put some numbers. Okay, beautiful Sama, what did we do here? If we look here at the formula, we will find K1 plus L. Okay, beautiful. If I come here, see the plus sign, I am standing here. Look at me, I am standing here. If I come here to this black plus sign and it goes to its owner below, I will find here that it added them for me again. The same addition process, 22 plus 2,444 plus 34,767 plus 572 and so on. Okay, Sama, how did it sum them up? This is what we call
reference.
What does cell mean? Reference. How does it do the same thing it did before? So we are standing here, right? It starts to see here what our operation is, K1 plus L1, meaning multiply here and add this. It's not multiply, sorry, it's add here and add for me. This. And it showed me the result here, so when I went down, it went down with me, held this same idea, added this to it, went down again, held this and added it, held this and added it. Okay, beautiful. Okay, Sama, if we want to see all their formulas, how do we do them? Look, we can come and stand here at the word formula, which is here. You will find something called what? Show formulas. We'll click on it, and you'll see it's shown to you in written form there. It's written that the cycle is EK1 plus L1, K2 plus L2, and so on for the rest. Okay, very beautiful, Sama. Okay, Sama, what if I have a fixed number? What does a fixed number mean? So here, for example, I'm just going to delete this first. I'll start deleting it. And what will I start doing? All right, I'll just go ahead and delete this. So what should I do next? And leave these numbers as they are. Okay, I'll come here and do, for example, 20%, but for a tax rate. Or, for example, I have a shop and I want to say that all my products have a 20% discount and I don't get a 20% discount. Okay? Sama, how do we start doing this and pursue simplicity? I will start coming here. I want to do something new. What is this new thing? Let's, for example, set this one. Multiply this by this. So let's start doing this here. Equals. Now we've learned how to do it, right? Our breaks equation, and I'll start telling it this times this, and we'll press enter. Of course, here it's because of the formula. Okay, we want to see the answer. It will tell me 900. Let's go down, and I'll find that it multiplied every result or every value. From here, in its value here. Okay, beautiful. What do I want to come here and do? Do I want to multiply this number, for example, the number of the blouse or the number of my products in the fixed value? Okay, it's very simple, Sama. What will we do here? Everything is correct, and we'll press here or write it M. Once that's correct, we'll do the multiplication, and then we'll stand here and say, here you go, it gave me 180. So 900 times 20% is 180. All right, great. Now, what should we do next? The column reference that we mentioned, actually this is the default, meaning this is the basis in Excel, and let's go down and see what it will do. 0, 0, 0, what is this? What is 0? This 44, it doesn't make sense, it's 0 actually. Okay, where did it get this number from? What did it actually do? Did it drag down automatically? Did it drag down? No, here it's 0, and here it's 0, and here it's 0. No, Samana, in the morning, we don't believe you. Okay, simple. Let's do this here, show and see what it did here. Here, multiplied what? It multiplied M1, which is this one here. What's going on, everyone? In A10, in the A10. Here it is, if we come here, we'll find A10, and then it multiplied it by A11, which is this. But this is 0, A12, A13, and so on, so this is wrong. Why? I want it to multiply each value by this 20%, so now it's time to talk about what type of reference we have here. Is the second type? It's the absolute. Okay, what else? This absolute thing is called, explain to us a little. We'll start coming here and start in the absolute. We say it's the dollar sign, also before I forget. Okay, let's see it together. I'll start coming here. Of course this is wrong. So I'll come here and do what? I'll start erasing it and then come and stand here. Let's see what it looks like. Here, if I want to make him understand that this is fixed, I want it with all the rest. Look, either drag or select it like this and press F4, and you'll find it, he left the $ for you. You can fix the row and before the column, or you can set it yourselves manually. Personally, I like using F4. Okay, we'll press enter. It will give me about 180, so let's drag it down and see what happens. Currently, he actually multiplied it for me. Okay, let's do a show and see together. I'll find that he actually started to multiply them all. In what, guys? What's fixed here is the value, which is the item for all of them. The item, so we learned how to use the column reference, which is basic for us, and how to use the absolute that keeps referring to the same cell we chose. Beautiful sky. So we took the first reference, which is the core reference, and we took oxygen. The third type we have is the mixed, right, Sama? This mixed. We don't understand. Look, everyone, what is this mixed about? Either I fix the row or I fix the column. No, we don't understand. So let's understand together. And I'll start by typing equal. Then what do we want to do? We want to multiply 1, the 1, 2, 1, 0, 3, and then 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay, let's write it step by step. What's the first thing you multiply? I want to multiply this one.
Sorry, miss.
Beautiful. But now we want to know, what do we want to fix? I want to multiply this number 1 by 1, 2, and 3. So what do I want to fix here? I want to lock the row. Which row number is it? 8, because we know that the row is with us. I am working on a sequence of numbers 123 and so on. So how do we make it stay fixed? I'll go before number 8 and put the $. So now I've fixed the row 8. So it keeps multiplying by what? In the row which is 1, 2, and 3? Okay, very good, Sama. We will think about the same idea, but with the column. How? I want to multiply this one by the 1 here, the 2 here, and the 3 here. So where are we heading? Heading to this column, which is column what? Is it column G? Okay, how do we fix it? The form we were standing on. Let's go to G. Here's the G. I'll go right before it, and what will I do? $, and let's press enter and see if it gives me 1, right? 1. Here, if I want to make him understand that this is constant. 1 times 1? Okay, let's do this and see. Here, if I want to make him understand that this is constant. 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 by 2 and 1. 3 by 3. Correct? Okay, so how much do we get outside? Go down. 2. 122. 2 by 4, 2. 3 by 6. Okay, let's check below. Excuse me, 3. 1 by 3, 3. 2 by 6 and 3. 3 by 9. So now we've learned practically how to fix references. Once we fixed the row and understood when to fix row 8, and once we fixed column G, so I was able to get my formula to work exactly how I want, in the way I want. Again, guys, because some people get confused, even though it's very simple, we start talking loudly. What is it that you want to make absolute? And what do you not want to keep fixed? Okay, let's see what we want to multiply here. 1. 1 the 1. 2 to the 1. 3. Okay, here I want it to go along the row, so I need to fix the row. Okay, the row with me, which is the aggregate row, right, Sama? It's the entire row. So should I come here before the 8? I'll put the $ to make it fixed, right? Right, Sama? Okay, and what do we want it to do here? Multiply by 1, 2, and 3. And it's at the G column, right? Before G and make the $. I hope it was explained simply and easily. So we've learned the difference between the 3 types. And that was a very important difference that I wanted you to know. Okay, now let's talk about sorting. Sorting. Sorting simply is about organizing. I just want to organize a set of names. For example, if we have student names from letter A to B, and so on to the end, or we have numbers we want to sort ascending, descending, depending, how do we want to sort? Okay, we are doing sorting or organizing. How can I, for example, make 12,345 or originally find the same items?
11.
And let's make the one below, for example, 2 as this one, is 34, for instance. We'll change this to 66, and this to 5. Let's announce. We'll start, we're organizing them, and how do we organize, Sama? Nothing at all. We do select as we've learned. I stand on the last unit and click left, whether on the mouse or touch, depending on what you use. And after that, we'll start going to the Data tab. Aren't we trying to sort the data? So where do we go? On Data, we'll find something called Sort, and I'll start by clicking on it. As soon as we click on it, it starts telling me, you want to sort column R. Yes, look, if you look here. Okay, how do you want it? The cell value? Oh, the value's inside this column. So it tells me, or the reverse. This is dangerous, either from small to large, or from largest to smallest, or custom. We will do it ourselves. I will say actually make it from largest to smallest. I will say, okay, make it actually 66115, right? Why do sorting? If I press here, I did the sort but reversed it. Let it be like this to small, reverse it for me. It started from 24 and ended at 66. So we were able to do sorting, very nice, Sama. And the same idea with names. It's very normal. And we came here talking. Let's write we actually have names here, Mona, and I don't know what, let's take this group like this. I'll come here and do a sort. And come and say, look, what is the type of this? Letters or letters then? Does it want it from A to Z or the other way around? That is, from small to large and from large to small. I tell him to make it reverse and I will say, okay. It will start with the skylight from me and the last thing on it. Okay, so this is about the sort or the arrangement. Okay, Sama, for example, let's say we have this situation. Salaries? Are all these people working with us? I want to know how much, for example, the top 10 salaries are. What's the highest salary in the company? I want to make a filter for the lowest salaries so that these people, for example, we increase them or give them bonuses or do something specific. What does this all fall under? It falls under something called filter, meaning what is a filter, meaning filtering. I start looking at all the data I have and begin to filter it or purify it. Very nice, Sama. So how do we also do this with me? For example, let's keep them working on the same topic, 245 rays. What's the idea that we will start? We will take this, and I will start taking it like this. Okay, great. We can also, for example, label the first one as what. We say here, for example, what. So we feel that the example is what. Facts suggest and touch here 4,000, and here, for example, 511,000, for example. And I will leave it as 6 and 6. I don't think anyone could be getting 66 on the same as 660, nor did anyone take 660. But give me some people whose salaries were low, meaning, but okay. Press on it like this. Sama, where do we apply the filter from? The same idea from the data, and I come to find here. Filter as soon as I press it. He will start here to make this arrow for me so we can carry out a process through it. Okay, instead of the arrow being on the first one, let's start putting it on top so that he can do filtering on the salary, and I will start telling him to filter. It will open here. I can press from here. We choose, for example, sort from small to large, the same sort we did here. You can do it through the filter. Okay, I want to tell him here, for example, what sort. Of course, how do we do it? Calorie. I can come and tell him here, filter the number, filters that are like what? What are the things that equal a certain number? What are the things that don't equal that number? What is more than this number? What is less than this number? What are the first 10? What is the average? Above average, what? Below average? What's the first thing you tell him? Above average will show up before the 5,500 and the 11,000. Okay, so let's bring it back again and, for example, do it here. The same idea, filter number, and I will tell him to be any quantity. Why? For example, I will tell him how much. I will say, for example, for 10,000 or 11,000, I will tell him 11,000 we will press. Okay, what's the limit? He's saying, what's this? Everything for 11,000, I will start, for example, come here and tell him the filter, which is greater than the least. I will tell him here 10,000. We will line up, okay? He will tell me the 11,000, but it's the only salary that is more than 10,000 in all the data that has passed. If we come here and look, the 11,000 is the only salary more than 10,000. Okay, what else can I do? Here I remove what you say and start. I choose something specific like 11,000. So someone brought me just one, but went and bought Alfredus here, okay? And so these are the things we will be able to do with the process of filtering or purification. Of course, the things that don't seem important are actually crucial when we deal with real data and a lot of information. The differences will matter greatly. For example, we want to know the students who passed, so we say greater than, and we give the number that if the student achieved or exceeded, they would be successful. Okay, what? We want to know whether we've hit the target or not. So the manager in the company wants to know if he achieved this target. For example, by having sales above a certain number. We can also do it through the filter, so the filter, folks, is with us and is very important. Okay, nice, Sama. What else do we want to say, Sama? Let's quickly talk about tables. Like, let's do something here called what? And I will go down and write, for example, what, Sama, and I will write Noor and write Allah. And I'll write Ayah. Nice, and Hafez, right here, which is the age, or here, for example, 252244333. Very nice fish. Now we want to make a table. We have two methods. Either I left click and start selecting these and make them selected, and then I come here and find a word called table inside, and I start selecting the table. It will tell me from here to here, yes, exactly, as long as he made the green rectangle that you moved through. This means he has selected them, and I will tell him yes, right? He will ask, does my table have headers? Meaning, is this nominal a header? I will say yes, it's a header, and even press OK. Header here. What? Did he give me this design? And I start here making my filter, so if I want to make a specific filter, I can do it. Okay, nice, Sama. Well, Sama, I don't like this shape, and we want to change these things, and frankly, I don't like them. All these things, we can change them from here, which is what? Table? Design inside the table. Design, we can tell him to remove. For anything, we also use this a lot. I can come here and do, but not now. In the final stages, when you bring things with me, you want to export it. I can come here and tell him, so I start here and remove it. Then, the header appears for you. The row, you come here and tell it to show the total row, and it will display the total at the row. He'll start here by adding up for you, for example, the word total. Here it summed 25 plus 22 for you, so it's 124. Okay, great. I'll start here by removing it. The data is optional depending on whether you want to keep it or not. Here it will tell you, this made it a table. If you have more than one column or more than one last column, that's fine. Same idea here too. Some people don't want this filter button. Well, I haven't asked them yet, so I have a filter, and I can easily remove it here if I want to change the design. You can change it. For example, you can click like this, and look at other things. You have many designs. We can design what we want like this. For example, we can click here, and it opens all the tables you want, or you can make a new table design or style as you like. Okay, honestly, we've seen how we can do it through. How do we do it with insert table? Let's go back like this, and I'll start doing it with you again in a very simple way. Based on the same idea, I'll start by making the select. Okay, I'll start by selecting, and then what will I say? I'll start by saying Control T. If you press Control letter T, you know it opens the same thing that opened for us when we pressed it, and I'll say, guys, look, if we remove it, will it create a header by itself? And we'll press OK, see what happens here? We created the column for you, and what else did it do? And it printed it, and you can change it, and I might just come here to name it. Like, for example, where can I name it? Edge anything, so if you remove it, it will do it by itself. But if you tell it, I'll write it, it will leave it for you to have it. One of the extremely important things we have is the chart. How do we do it? How do I create a chart? Or how? How do I present my data in a visual way? Okay, how do we do this? Charts, especially since they are requested a lot in work, and we do them very, very, very often. Let's write, for example, here I write January, for example, and here in Feb, and then March for the word March. I'll start writing here, for example, the sales that are available. I'll write here, for example, 1,200, then below, I'll write 2,200 or 200, okay? I'll write 3,300 here, for example. Okay, very nice, Sama. Now let's see how we create a chart. I start by selecting my data, it will appear on the chart. Then I click on Insert, and after that, I open the small arrow and this small icon here to show me all the available charts I have. After that, I click on Chart, and it opens up all the charts I can choose from. You choose according to your needs and the nature of your work. Alright, great, Sama. For example, if you want to make a comparison like in our case, I want to compare sales between January, February, and March. We can do it through the chart. It shows the comparison or comparison process. You can also choose the line if you're looking at trends. You can make a pie chart. You choose which part is suitable for our whole or matching pool. Since I'm doing a comparison, I'll start choosing the column. So I'll say, okay, here, it opens my chart as you see. Once opened, I found it available here. What? The chart? Design. You can choose the design that suits you or you like. Let's choose, for example, any chart. I just want what's available in the numbers. This one looks nice. Let me choose it. Or anything else, right? I will choose this. Okay, great, we chose it. You can also press the downward arrow here, and you can do anything you want. Any shape, for example, you can choose this shape too, right? It depends on what you want. But the idea here is that if you want to select specific data and display it, for example, we make a selection. If the chart changed during the year, after I chose the column, I found. No, I wanted to make it a pie chart. I'll start here. I'll go to the pie chart, and I'll say I want it as a pie chart. I'll say, okay, it currently made it a green pie chart. Also make the movie chart if you want to change its location. See if you want, for example, to put it in a new sheet, your class. I placed a class space, your sheet name class. I might say leave it for me in the studio, leave it for me in the file, sheet 5 as you like. I'll leave it here in the same place. So it's fine as it is. We'll leave it in its class, and I'll press cancel. Okay, is that it? The section for my charts or graph. I can also come here and start changing the name I can, but I'll call it The Sims. Here. Months, it seems you can change its name too. If you hover over it, you can, for example. You can make it italic, you can make it underlined. You can make it in this form according to what you want. You can make it red if you like. We can change these parts. This is how we make a chart. Alright, Sama, thank you so much. Now that we've learned how to create a chart, we've seen the method and understood the essential basics and the important things we'll need for work. Addressing something nice also among other important things we need with us. One of the other things which is called from inside the drop-down list. What is drop-down list, Sama? I'll tell you, come here for example. I'll start writing here for example. I have a very nice class, and I'll go to sheet 5 and start writing. For example, class 1 below it plus 2 below it.
Class 3.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's up, Sama? I'll go back here to the class. I want when someone stands here to choose from the dropdown, not write other data. No, you have to and must choose from what I set for you. Okay, great. This is, for example, if we're a team. And I want to make my colleague understand that you must choose these things, but we don't have another option to choose from. So someone comes and stands on it outside, stands on it gently. How are you doing? This, the sample data. Where did it move to? To the data? Will I find anything? Here I have something called data validation. I'll click on it. Do you see the sign? Yes, Sama. Let's go to the arrow next to it. I'll choose a list. Okay, great. After choosing the list, we'll find something called source, which we are supposed to write in. The location of my list. So are we going to write? No, I honestly don't want to write. I'll start going here to sheet 5. It will write sheet 5 for me directly, and I'll start here to make it. Select these things automatically. It will write it for me without me having to write it myself, and then I'll start to say, okay, that's it. Look, what is written next to the classic? Look, if you press on it, it will tell me to choose either class 1, class 2, or class 3. You choose one of them only, so we're like making a protest about using data validation. Okay, great. What else, Sama? We want to know. Look, guys, I have, for example, here, I'll start writing here, for example. Let's write here, for example, beautiful, and next to it, for example, the date, and next to it, the age, and all these things. Any details or anything related or concerning the student I have. Okay, I came here, for example, I have 1,000, so I'll enter it here. So I come here and say just a second, and here was the name or here, or was it the class here or the age or what? What? I forgot. At that point, we usually want to do something called freeze. What does freeze mean? I want to freeze either the row or the column. Okay, in my case here, what do I want to freeze? I want to lock the first row in place. So how do I do that, Sama? We go to the view. Okay, great, Sama. Just this T messed me up. Beautiful here. This chooses from here the view. Once I choose it, I find something called freeze. This is what appears. You press the arrow next to it. It starts telling me here, meaning it will freeze the row and column for me. It tells me top row. It tells me first column, meaning do you usually freeze the row and column, or just the column or the row? Just, in my case, I'll tell it to freeze the top row. Okay, you see it made several small black lines if I scroll down. Look, no matter how I scroll down, the first row remains fixed. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, if I found myself, I don't want it. I don't want this freeze, so what should I do? From the same place, from the same view, from the same freeze. I start pressing it, telling it to unfreeze. Okay, what do you want to freeze? I want to freeze the column, so I'll start here. Let's come as long as I move like this. We'll find the first remains fixed for me. Okay, Sama, we want to see what are these sales. Achieved our target, and what didn't achieve the target? Let's just increase it a little bit. Attack here and go. Shortcut for April was, for example, 400. Okay, that's enough. Okay, now we want to give it a condition, right? So how do we create this condition? Sama, I come to select the data I want to format, or what we call conditional formatting. Okay, also, where do we do it from? We go. Here at home, after I go to home, I go to conditional formatting and start to open it. I find a lot of things. Come, let's grab one thing. The first thing tells me here, highlight the cell rule, right? Let's highlight the sales rules. Then it says here greater than, equal to, depending on what you want. I'll start telling it, okay, here I want what? I want to see the people who didn't achieve the target. Okay, for you, the one who doesn't achieve the target is the one less than how much? Less than 1,000, for example. So if it doesn't meet the target, it asks me how I want it to appear. I'll leave it to be red as it is. And I'll start to say, okay, I'll start to find here, of course, we're talking about here, we'll have thousands of data. Okay, I'll find it made red here. This didn't achieve your target. Okay, let's do it again here, and I'll start to go to conditional formatting. Same idea here, for example, you make, for example, here, this brings you, of course, the top, brings you the average, for example, this told it what? What is below average? Okay, what is less than average? It will open the same idea until also leave it red. It will tell me here the role that is less than average, meaning they didn't even achieve the average. Okay, I can also come here in a discussion just to show you these things here, the data board according to your work. Hopefully we'll use them in the next part. Okay, do we use these icons a lot? I personally always use this to give them the things we didn't achieve, and the things we did achieve, the accepted ones. So we'll press here to choose the icon. Okay, what else? This Y rule is really nice. What is this Y rule? This, I make my own rule, which is to start seeing what I want, bigger, smaller. This is a custom thing for you. It depends on what you want to make your condition specific to. This, it goes back to each business and to each of you and what exactly you want to do. Okay, I want to delete all the rules I made. I start clicking here and it gives you two options. Do you want to delete it only from this selected part that you made or from the entire sheet? So we have this sheet called what class? Do you want to delete the sheet class from anywhere it's present inside? No, I'll say no, just the selected part. So this is part of conditional formatting, and it's a very important feature whether you want to use one of the existing options or create your own.
Then larger than between.
And honestly, you will find that most of your work is already there, or something came up that you want to make specific to your work. You can also customize it. Okay, now you want to give them a little break and take something simple during this break. Sometimes when we come to print, we face problems with the print, like when the Excel sheet is larger than the data I want to print. So how do I adjust this part? The print problem. I do the print and so on, so why not do some little tricks? I will show them to you. I personally use them. Okay, what Summer? These parts are based on the page layout, guys, and I start to change a few things. The first thing I change is I go here to the widths and I start making it one page. And the height. Honestly, sometimes I make it one and sometimes automatic. Then I balance it. The difference isn't big. It's totally up to you. Change it whenever you want. That's something up to you. Okay, after we've changed the width and the height, we come here to the margins. Do you want to leave the margin as it is, normal as it is, or make the margins bigger? Should the difference at the beginning and on the letters be larger, or should it not be? Am I in narrow mode? They usually use narrow, but honestly, it depends on your work. Or maybe you want to set the margins yourself. Just go to custom margins and enter the values you want. It's up to your needs. Okay, for the orientation, do you want it to be landscape, or do you want it another way? Portrait, depending on if it looks portrait oriented, right? This looks more horizontal in my part, making it landscape. This also depends on the size you want to change your size to. Personally, I usually don't choose it, but sometimes you might want to choose it for A4. A 5-2 also depending on your work. Okay. We also get to the print titles section, and this is a really important part. What is this print title, Sama? Do you want when it comes to dividing the page according to the Excel sheet I have? I might make a giant Excel sheet with a lot of data in thousands of rows and columns. So can it be done without its titles when it comes to printing? I need to print them. No, Sama, I need to print them on every page. Okay, how do we do this? I come here to the rows to repeat at top section. This is specific to the rows, and I select what I need. I just want to put the row, so I come here, press on this row, and it starts writing it for me here. Then I go back and press OK. Okay, it's the same idea with the column beautiful. All these parts help us in the printing part. Okay, Siham, sorry, I want to print a specific part. I want to print this table. Or for example, I want to print this table. Do I need to print the whole thing? What? Wait, should I just crop it like that? No, Excel, as I told you, is a strong tool that makes it very easy. Okay, what will we do? Thama, from the same page. Why? Out. You'll find something with us called the print area. What is this print area? This? I'm saying please, when I go to print this part, so it comes here and asks you if you want to leave the print area or clear it. No, I want to set it, so what? Nothing has changed. Yes, we haven't done the print yet. Let's go do a file. Print it, you'll find it. But of course, it's only the table we specified. Okay, let's go back and continue our conversation. Okay, now let's talk about basic functions. What is basic? This function. These are like sum, average, minimum, and maximum, and these are indispensable in our work. So what are these? Like this? Quickly, it's called built-in. Formula, present in Excel. Okay, how do we do this, Sama? Let's start here. I want to sum these up, so how will you sum them? I go down here to the spot where I want the total to appear. Let's say I'll write here total. And I'll come here and write equal, and I'll start writing sum, and I'll find that it appears to me. Double-click the first one, and it will open the parentheses and ask you for the items you want to add. So when I press here and start to go down, I'll find that it selects from H16 to H19 for me, and when I press enter, I'll find that it sums them up for me. Okay, Sama, no, I got mixed up. Honestly, I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to do the sum. What did I want to do? I wanted to do a simple average. The same idea, equal, and I'll look for the average. I found the average here, double-click on it, and it starts asking me, what do you want to average? I'll start selecting this, like this, and press enter, it gives me the average. No, Sama, I got confused, sorry, what do you want? Okay, I want the max. I want to see what's the highest number among them. Okay, simple, equal, max, and double-click, and I start selecting these, and pressing enter tells me the highest number is 4,400, and that's true. Okay, Sama, I don't want to write it because I might forget to write the equal or get confused. What do I do? Nothing at all. There's an easier way. We come here to home, and I find something called AutoSum. I click on it and tell it I only want the sum, just like that. I come here, and then I start here by telling it I want the sum. Okay, it asks me, do you want this sum? These items? Yes, I press enter, and it also gives me 9,100. Should I go back again? No, I don't want the sum, so I'll start selecting them again and say make it the average, and I'll find it gives me the average below. No, Sama, I'm confused. We want to get the minimum. It will do the minimum below for me. No, we also want to do the max. It will come and do the max and so on. So we can use the basic function, or we can write it ourselves like writing equal sum, equal average, or whatever you need. What do you need? Or I can come here from home and choose what you want from here. Just select your data and choose what you want from here. Very nice. What else? I want to talk to you about the IF condition. What is this EF condition? I just want to write IF if this target or this cell exceeds 2000. Write to me that it's added, or clarify that it's added or that it's good. If it's less, write below for me, for example. How do we do that? This is done easily. I write equal IF and then follow the written instructions here. It asks me, what logical test do you want? Should I press on this? And I tell it if this one, greater than or equal to 2000, for example. At that point, I apply our nice formula and find the result. It made it bold-faced. I'll find it on the value of true, and if successful, I'll tell it to display the word ababa. By mistake, there's no problem, I'll come here and write capture. Okay, Sama, if it doesn't meet the criteria, what does it do? So what will you show him then? Or what word will appear to him? I'll tell it to show below. That's below the target we need. So, should I click? You? Here it tells me no, that's below. Okay, let's stand on it and pull it like this. I came here, for example. It will show me below. So 1,200 is really less than 2,000. 200 is less than 2,000, but 3,300 is not. Those are more. 4,400 is more. So just like that, in a simple way, we were able to write our IF condition or simple IF condition together. Sama, are there more advanced things? Yes, there are more advanced things and more complex things which are more complicated. But we will take these in due time. Right now, we're focusing on the basics and essentials that we must know because any work requires them. Okay, we'll take the higher level things together, God willing, don't worry. All right, very nice. All right, what else, Sama? There are also some really great tips that I want to share with you. Okay, let me tell you something important now. I honestly consider it important for me. What is it? For example, let's come here. My target, say, is 80%. And now I want to multiply each percentage from this cell by the 80%. So what should I do? I'll start by saying equal, then choose this and say times, and choose that, right? Right, Sama? Well, instead of choosing it every time, what is it called that I have here? It's called the name box. This one here. I'm just here because I'm standing on this. If I come and stand on this, what will I find here in the name box, Sama? This name box, so I can change its name. So instead of its name being 015, let's call it what? Let's, for example, name it something. Copy abbreviation for percentage, BR nice, nice. I named it BR so I can come here and change it. The times the BR brought it to me. Look, as soon as I wrote it, what appeared? This 70% appeared, so I was able to give it a name. So what does this benefit us? Sama. So what did it benefit us with? Of course, here it multiplied this percentage by the values in the cells, and it's useful because I might actually need to calculate something like that myself for a certain subject. So when I come, I might find something written here, for example. Of course, BR doesn't have a meaning. It might just be in the speakers. You might name it according to your business. Is it a tax? Is it a fine? Is it, for example, a bonus applied to it? So you name it according to what you want to call it. We come here to name it through what? Through the name box, of course. Don't forget to be on it, because when we take the functions opening, it was giving me a hint about what it wants. Some or such functions, but I must stand on it to understand what I want. I want to change the name of this cell. Okay, this is a simple thing, but I find it important and I use it personally, so honestly I didn't assume it. What I'm telling you. Okay, what else do we want to talk about, Sama? It's something very simple, which is the find and replace. Here I can say Control F to open find, guys. Let's say, for example, I want to search for the target. How was it written? They said. Okay, I'll say find. It told me there's 1200 here. I'll say no, find next. So this is what I want. Will it bring this for me? Well, instead of doing find next, you say find all, and it opens all of them for you here. You choose what you want. I want the 200 only, not 1200. What's next? After you do it, what do you usually do? I want to start by telling it to go to replace and change it to 2000, okay? I'll start by telling it to change it for me. And then what should I enter here? Is this what you want? Replace? Say no, I just want to select this one and tell it, go ahead and replace it. Let's have a look, and we'll find that the 200 that was here has become 2000. Okay, Sama, can we do it another way? Yeah, so what's the second method? I come here from home and start choosing. Find and select. I choose it, and it tells me here find. And I click on it and tell it here to select. There's nothing at 200, so we'll search here for 2000. Then I'll tell it find all, and it found the 2000. It's the only one there. I'll go to replace and tell it to change it to 3500, and then I'll tell it, go ahead and do it for me. We'll find it here, indeed, changed to 3,500. All right, now let's work a bit with dates or with the sheet in general. All right, what do you want to do, Sama? For example, I want to know what today's date is. So I'll start by coming and saying equal. So here in Arabic, I'll start by saying here equals today, which is the one that appeared. And I'll start selecting it. And as soon as I press enter on this function, will I find it? It brought me today's date, which is indeed January 10th, 2025. Beautiful, Sama. Okay, I want to know the date and time too, like what time is it now? Simple. Here I'll start by typing equal and we use it. And let's start using it and press enter. And I'll find here it gave me today, January 10th, 2025 at 18 and 2/5, which means 6:50. And indeed, right now I'm recording for you at 6:50. Okay, great. So Sama, I want to know. For example, is this October? Or is this the 10th day? I want to find that out. How do we find this out? Is there a function that can let me know? Oh, of course. So what is the function? You want to know the day, right? Yes, let's start by typing equal, and inside the day function, I'll give it this and ask please, where is this day? Is it 10 or 1? And I'll press enter and it will tell you it's 1. So today is the first day. Okay, let's make sure and write Al-Mansura. What's this death to you? And we start by choosing this, and press enter, it will say month and 10. This, let's select the year. I'll start here in layer, and I'll also press on this and press enter. And it will tell me here what? Tell me 2025 why? A few things. If we like playing with dates or times, well, since we're already playing, let's also try playing with the text or words or names, depending on what we want. Let's imagine that I come here and start writing Sama. It's not all uppercase, right? Sama Ibrahim. Okay, Sama. Okay, I've written my name. Let's enlarge it a bit like this. We enlarge it from here like this. Okay, so Sama Ibrahim, what do you want here, everyone? For example, if I want to have just the first 4 letters of my name here, how do we do that? I start by writing here equal, then I say left Y. Do you want it from the right, starting with the M and going toward the S, or do you want it from the left first? The S going to the M that I want from the first S, so? I tell it left and I start to open. It's brackets, and I even tell it I want from this which is or 18. I want you to get me just the first 4 letters, and I'll press enter, and I'll find it. It got me. Oh God, this is really nice, Sama, and of course, if we have many names, we can do it with the same idea. So, what do I want to do? More. Let's also print the names that are in the middle as well. I can come here and write, which means in the middle, or the, okay, and then I'll start telling it I text. I'll tell it this is Sama Ibrahim. Okay, where do you want me to start? And where do I end? I'll say, for example, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say, for example, come. Here I have from the 5 until this becomes, let's say 8, for example, and let's press enter. Did it show me Ibrahim here? Okay, let's see how it did it for us. If we come here to open it, what do we have it on? Here what? 5. Let's say it counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, which is the empty space. Then I told it after that, which is the 8. So it counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is that empty space. That's why it showed me the whole name Ibrahim. So let's make this 8 here a 5, for example, and we'll press enter. You'll find it brought me, which is the empty machine, and then 123, 45, which are the 5 that we told it about from the start when it was empty. And then we start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it stopped at the E. So that's how, if I want to get something in the middle. Okay, Sama, you've done left and middle, but the right is still missing. The right is the same concept. There's no difference. I'll start writing here, right. First letter again. I'll come here, right, and then I start opening and give it Sama Ibrahim. And I'll say, for example, bring me the last 2 letters, these 2. And I'll ask, did you give me the M and the I? So now I know how to split or divide our name, whether using left or emid or right. Okay, that's the emid function. So what else, Sama, can you do for me? Or is there something you want me to show you today? I want to do concatenation. What does that mean? Meaning, I want to combine Sama with Ibrahim. So how do we do it, guys? It's very easy. I start by saying here equal, and then I come to stand here with me, and then I do, for example, and or let me tell you something. Let's do, and here, and I'll start writing here. Within Sama, I'll start writing, for example. Leave a space first. I'll start writing here what? And let's press enter, and here I'll find what? Sama. So we're doing a concatenation for the thing we want with the concatenation we want. Okay, Sama, is there another way? Yes, we can use the function called concat as well. I'll present it to you this time. Here it is, okay. I start by choosing it and continue to catenate this with, for example, this and, for example, this. I start pressing enter and find here, guys, a group of 3 together. And it also applies in the case of names. It's also a really nice thing. One of the lovely things that will help you in your work, God willing. Let's, for example, come here and go down a bit. Let's work in an empty space. And let's, for example, start confirming here. Like what? I'll start writing my name normally. I will write here Sama, and then Ibrahim. Then I'll move down and enter, for example, Nur Mohammed. Very nice. And then I will come here and enlarge it a bit so that the name is clear. And I will start writing here Sama. and I will come. I'll write Ibrahim here. Okay, great. So Sama, what is it you want to show us? I want to show you how. What will we use the flash for? The flash in the body. Let me tell you, I will start here and stand at this one, which is the sky. And then I will come here. Inside the data, I will find something called flash fill, and when I click on it, I will find it does exactly the same thing below. Nora understood that here in Sama Ibrahim. What is this flash fill doing, guys? This flash starts going to Sama. Where does this Sama come from? Does it go? Looking here at Sama Ibrahim, it understands itself that it took the first name. Okay, if I come here and press here, what will I find it did? Did it write Muhammad for me? It went in the same way it saw me do it above. So this will help us a lot in work, for example, following a specific pattern and wanting everything to comply with it. So we use something very simple called flash fill, which is found inside the data tab. Nice. It contributes also to the nice things I like. It's called the special paste. You know, the regular cast we do. Okay, so let me show you what special paste is. Come, let's try it here. Look, guys, I will write here, or let's take this 70%, okay? I want, guys, to take this 70% and multiply it by all these numbers, for example. Okay, what will I start doing? Or, of course, for example, make it a small thing. The 10 becomes clear. I will take this 10 and want to multiply it by all the numbers. What will I do? I will press here Ctrl plus C. On this 10, Ctrl C, take it with Ctrl C, and then I will go here, select all of these, and start doing the paste. The special. So I will look here for the paste. Here it is, and I will press, and then go down to paste special, and tell it I want you to make it multiply all these numbers by the 10 I'm already standing on, and I'll press OK. See what happened? It multiplied all these numbers once. The 10 here, and this is my special paste. So does Sama only do the multiply? No, if we paid attention, I was showing it to you in more than one other thing. At your convenience. And all of this, sir. What can we also use it for? This will come later, and comments, and these things will come later. But this is very important. And I wanted to tell you this too. Instead of taking the copy and multiplying it by a specific thing, you can take this number. Come on, multiply it for me in this whole row. And for example, if this row has a lot of numbers or everything specific in, for example, all the cells wanting everyone to be 5,000 things put in all at once. Okay, very nice. Okay, so this is actually the last part of our video today, God willing. I wanted to finish it off with a few shortcuts. It was simple. It will help you like, for example, if I want to make it by selecting the data instead of going and sorting, but maybe someone might forget where we bring the sort from. So where? Could it be confused or something? The method is simple. When it selects, and there was a nice shortcut we have, it's Ctrl plus Shift plus L. As soon as I do it, we find the sort button so you can do it however you want, like from small to large. And you do it. No, I want it normal. Ready. I will make a sound. Show me if it did a normal sorting. Okay, very nice. There's also another thing related to the port, also related to you wanting to reach this port. What does it mean? Meaning, if I stood here, what's the last part here? This one, right? Okay, how do we reach it? Can you control it through the arrows? But before the arrow, press Control. So if you press Control and bring the arrow down, I will find it takes me to the last part. If I press up, it will take me to the first part, and likewise, it will bring me to this section. If to the left like this, we can control it, and if we want to reach the last part in this, or in that part, we can reach it through. But before that, you should press the Control button. Okay, I don't really need to remind you of the simple shortcuts like the ones you want to do, want to redo, etc. Okay, the last thing is that we do, and this is easy, we click here at the File and press, and start choosing the place where you want to leave it. For example, I will tell it here, okay, leave it for me also in another part, which is the part related to sharing. I can send them through email in any way I want. How? So here at the file, I start looking for share. Here it is, and I start finding here the email. You can send it as normal. You can make it as PDF. You can make it according to your needs. Okay, nice. Same idea with export if you want to do it on your side. With this, the video. Today's video is done. I just wanted to gather all the basics that we will need together, and we will need to know them all in one video. So hopefully when we start in the coming days, we will all be on the same page, and all of us will be able to enter advanced level, and we understand very well what we cannot proceed without. I hope today's video was simple and you liked it. If you liked the video today, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and like and comment.